There you go. Now one day my children, they come home from school and they say, Mama, we have new song. And I say, oh, that's fantastic. Let Mama get the beats on. We get headphones on. I get it all set up. Don't sing it yet, children. Let's save this moment, record it. So I press record. I say, we can add beats later. And they said, yes, Mama. And so I say, what's your song, darlings? And they say, who let him in and who invited him? 'Cause he's a twat, he's a tosser, he's a twat. They say, he does not even know that he's a twat. 'Cause he's a tosser, he's a twat, and that is that. Yes, we have a lot in common. I said, that's fantastic. Is that your new, yes, they said our new Christmas song. And they will be singing it every year now when they celebrate. And he has all his friends that are tossers, 'cause he's the leader of the twats and the tossers. And he'll only ever be a twat, but he does not even know he's a twat, he's a tosser, he's a twat. I said, that is beautiful. I'm sure they don't mind me sharing the moment, It will be their school anthem, just to make sure, because I think, how did they get into Parliament? I think the most important qualification has to be intent for good for humanity. A good person is very important. And we need psychological testing, I tell them. I said, when you run the world, your generation, we need psychological testing. No money will buy that job. Number 10, you need to be a good person. That's the first qualification. A desire to do good things and look after the vulnerable, because you are in charge of how we look after the vulnerable when you are running the country. It is all on your head. And if they have no desire, they should never be allowed in number 10. And I think it should be law, and I think this should be lessened, but I think it might take more generations yet. But why did they not have them tested? No psychopath. No Hitler. We do not like the Hitler model. We study Hitler, and we have a model that Hitler used fear. We study it for 60 years now to make sure, how did this happen? We must never let it happen again. And what happened? It was written down, and then most of the people in Parliament, they are psychopathic. They have to be, not to cry all the time for what they do. They need to be ruthless, you see. But it's not a business. This is not in the city stock market, ruthless businessman. This is not the career for you. This is humanity, looking after our vulnerable people in this community. And the buck stops there, man. And I tell my children, I say, I'm so proud of you. Go and sing it again, go on. He's a twat, they said. He's a tosser. It's very addictive. I hooked already. I think it will catch on. He's a twat, and he does not even know that he's a twat. 'Cause he's a twat, he's a tosser, and that is that. Who let him in, and who invited him in? We don't even know how we got in. No one really knows but corruption. And we all know corruption is too powerful in our government. And so that should be an automatic no. No, you cannot have this job, I'm sorry. I don't even want to tell you why, because you pretend. You see, you have to be a good person and prove that you have spent a long time dedicated to looking after the vulnerable. Because the most important job for any person running a country and deciding how to look after the vulnerable, how can they not have this qualification of giving a shit, a degree in giving a shit first before politics? You can always learn politics, but you cannot change the fact that you do not give a shit. especially if you're a twat, and you do not even know that you're a twat, because you're Talousa, a twat, and that is that. I'm so proud.